Hello and welcome to the first class of Programming 2 for Southwestern in C++. I put this together as a little bit of a better idea to kind of help you along and answer some questions and give you a point of reference since I'm not there at present. Alright, what I've done is I've opened up your text. I've opened up your textbook. Okay, this is obviously very annoying. I'm just going to minimize that. I've opened up the textbook, and what I've done is I've gone to, let's see what page this is, page 311, which is chapter 6, which is our streams and basic input-output. And what I've done is I've opened it to this particular input-output file. And this is just a sample. It let me kind of give you an idea of where to put the program, some modifications that you might need to make in your compiler. You'll notice as I first start, it has some basic items for the setup of the program. Now here's the example that they have over here. You'll notice they use in-stream, right, which is fine, and then outstream. And what I've done is I've actually created this over here where I've put in, here's the system pause. So you have the differences where you have the include, right, here's your include items. And then as we did last semester, using namespace.std, it's not given in the example, well, it's given an example right there. They don't have the system pause, and if you don't have that, sometimes it has a tendency to simply continue, and at pause you can see the results, which is disappointing at best. So, kind of doing our comparison here, you'll notice my input file stream, my output file stream, perfectly fine, not a big deal. I did have to put std cout, input file opening failed, right? And then of course if I want to display that, I have a system pause. This exits my program. And what I did is this output file stream actually puts it in the file itself, and I actually put this out to the screen at the same time. All right, so let me start from the beginning so you have a general idea of what's going on. This right here declares the input file stream, meaning this is where I'm going to go to get data from. I'm going to get it from what's called the in-stream, and I'm declaring the variable in-stream as a type ifstream, meaning that I'm getting the information from the input file stream. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another set called outstream, which I'm creating as the output file stream, meaning that wherever I have my output file at, I'm putting data in it. So this points to the file that I want to get information from. This points to the file where I want to put information. So the next thing I do is I say in-stream, right? So here's in-stream, in-stream.open, infile.dat. Now what's very interesting about all textbooks, they always tell you, hey, create the input file and put it here, put data in it, but they never actually tell you where to put the in-file data, or the data file. So what I've done is I went ahead and I created, so my file folder where I've created this is Programming 2 Chapter 6. In the Chapter 6 Test 2 folder, that's the one I created. So whatever you name your file, whatever you call your file, inside that, it'll have a number of folders in here, one of which will be the name, Chapter 6 Test 2, then there'll be a debug folder, and they'll have some other files associated with it. What you want to do in order to make this work is you want to go into the file with your actual name in it, and you want to put your in file and your out file in that folder, wherever it's stored. So knowing where your stuff is stored is very important. Now you'll notice in my in file, I've created an in file with 3 numbers, 23, 32, and 40. Once again, if I look wherever it's saved, so as an example, my folder I just put right here in the desktop, it's called Programming 2 Chapter 6. Inside Programming 2 Chapter 6, there is my Chapter 6 Test 2, right? Open that up. There's my Chapter 6 Test 2 folder. I open that up. And then inside the main folder, I've got my C++ file. I have all my elements. I have my in file, and I have my out file. My out file is right there. The sum of the first 3 numbers in the file is 95. So I've created that, and Yep, it should be out file. OUT. And I store it in here because what it's going to do when it starts this, when it says instream.open, infile.dat, outstream.open, outfile.dat, what it's actually doing is it's creating two pointers, one of which, well, okay, not technically pointers, but it's pointing to infile, in this file, saying, that's where I want to get the information from. And then right here where it says outstream.open, it's saying outfile.dat, hey, this is where I want to put the information at. Instream, where I get the information. Outstream, where I put the information. Then I have this sample right here that says, hey, if I couldn't find it, if instream.fail, meaning I tried to find this file, I cannot find it, then I want to say, hey, I can't open it, I'm sorry. Input file, opening failed, and I say a system.pause, or put in the system.pause, so your screen actually pauses so you can take a look at what that file is actually doing. Otherwise, it would just flash up on the screen and you wouldn't see it again. Alright, so we have output file, input file, opening failed. Now, I then declare first, second, and third as variables. Normally, what I would do is I would say stdin or std::cn, meaning I'm taking in data. But because I'm not taking it in from the stream that the user inputs, and I'm taking in from the file itself, I put first, second, and third. So I declare the variables first, second, and third. Now what I'm doing in my data file is I'm taking in the first number, I'm taking in the second number, and I'm taking in a third number. Now you'll notice if I look at my in file, there's my first number, there's my second number, and there's my third number. So it's taking each one of these in, and it's storing it in first, second, and third. Then I have two different locations or what I do with it. I then say, all right, I want you to print it to the screen. The sum of the first three numbers in the file is first plus second plus third, and then I end the line. This one over here, I say outstream, meaning now I put it to the screen here, and I'm going to put it in the file. So it's going to say the sum of the first three numbers in the in file is da 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 da. So if I open up my in file, here's my out file, the sum of the first three numbers in file is 95, which are my three numbers added together. So what it does is it takes in those values, assigns it to these three variables, then what it does is it sums up those variables and it puts it in the in file, in the out file, which looks like that. Then what I do, then I close my in stream, meaning I don't want to leave it open. I don't want to have cause possible errors, because you can, if you close a file and you don't, if you close a program and you do not close the in file or the out file, there's a possibility that it can get corrupted, where you can have garbage placed in the data file, which you do not want. So you want to go ahead and close the in stream. You want to close the out stream. Then now notice what I do is I have a system pause again, meaning I'm going to pause the system so I can look at what it does, I can get the results, and return 0. Now this doesn't give you the solution to my assigned problems as it's given in the syllabus, but this gives you a sample file to look at and note, hey, this is where that information is, this is how we made the sample program, and it gives you kind of a step-off point to look at. What I've also done is I've created this first program document. I'm going to hopefully upload this, that has the code itself. I've underlined the things that I've maybe changed in it. It says when you save the document, you'll have a main file called whatever the name you call it. So it gives you a general idea of what it's called and things to look for, as well as where to put it. I took some screen captures here. So I hope that kind of helps you out. I will be available that evening via Skype, and we'll walk you through some of these things a little bit, but I wanted to give you a general impression and also have a point of reference for getting your information. If you have any further questions, please field them to me or field them to your proctor, either way. Hope you enjoyed class. Very nice to see you, and come October, it won't be this way anymore. It'll be live and in your face, which could be good or bad, depending. Anyway, thank you very much for your time. Have a good day.